looking at number 8 off of the first worksheet. Unit 10, worksheet 1, number 8. So pick a side to work on.
Man, that's me.
You can always pick either side, but you generally want to pick the more complicated side. Because if you pick the right-hand side of this one, I don't know really what you would do. You'd have to get kind of creative. You can still do it, and I do know how you would do it, but it would be, you don't want to mess with that. So, what did you try on number 8?
I changed cotangent and tangent to the cosine over sine and sine over cosine.
Okay. There's other ways to do it, but that's completely an okay way to go. Cotangent is cosine over sine. Tangent is sine over cosine. And it's generally a good idea to not do too much at once. So that's a good idea. That's a good combination of things because it cancels. But it starts happening where if you do too many substitutions at once, you can sort of fly past the past your exit while you're just cruising along. So slow down sometimes and only make 1 or 2 steps at once. Don't do too much. All right, that's a great pick to do because the cosines cancel and the sines cancel, and that leaves us with 1 over secant. And then hopefully you have an aha moment. So, wait a minute, 1 over secant, that is cosine. We got it. Again, there's other ways to work that, because if you had replaced cotangent with 1 over tangent, then they would cancel, then you'd have got 1 there as well.
How do you get all of those other things just with cosine?
How would you start on the right? You would first change cosine to 1 over secant, and then you would start doing silly things like multiplying the top by tangent and 1 over tangent, because that doesn't change anything. Well, why would you do that? Except to make it look like the left. Ty? Number 9. Now, number 9, I'd say that is a legitimate question on which side do you want to work on, because you could make the case for either side. I think the left side's more complicated in terms of algebra, but the right side's more complicated in terms of trig functions. So, Ty, did you try working on one of the sides?
Not yet.
Okay, because I can do it either way. When it feels like, man, this could go either way, it's probably because it could go either way. So, Ty, you haven't tried one yet. You want to just pick a side that you want me to work on?
Yes, the left side.
Okay, we'll work on the left side. So they're both over cosine. And again, I'm peeking to the right-hand side. And so 1 over cosine is secant. You know what? I think if we just split this up and sort of undo the fraction adding and write it as 1 over cosine minus cosine over cosine. It's an algebra step. But then hopefully this is what happens. Like you do 1 or 2 steps and then it sort of, the light goes off like, oh, I'm there. Because 1 over cosine, that is secant. And cosine over cosine is 1. So we're good. Again, you could work the other side as well on that one. Other questions?